Welcome. Today we are going to look at C.R.E. Paper 1, Part 1, Revision 22. Questions. Question 1a. Explain 7 reasons why the use of the Bible is central in study of C.R.E. 7 marks. 1b. Explain effects of sin from the fall of human beings in Genesis chapter 3, verse 7 to 23. C. Explain factors hindering Christians to carry out effective evangelization in Kenya. Question 2a. Identify 8 ways in which Abraham demonstrated his acts of faith in God. 2b. What were the conditions given to the Israelites during the renewal of Sinai covenant? 2c. Give 5 importance of the Decalogue to Christians today. Question 3a. Identify areas which show King Ahab as a failure in Israel. 3b. Explain the nature of the Canaanite religion. C. List 6 importance of the temple in Jerusalem to Christians. List 6 importance of the temple in Jerusalem to the Israelites. Question 4a. Explain 4 ways in which prophetic messages were written down. B. Give 7 ways in which God would punish Israel for her evils according to Prophet Amos. 4c. How does the church in Kenya punish errant members? Question 5a. Outline the suffering of Prophet Jeremiah during his ministry. 5b. Give reasons why Nehemiah carried out religious reforms in Judah. 5c. List 7 lessons that political leaders can learn from Nehemiah's leadership in Kenya today. Question 6a. Explain the importance of rituals performed during a naming ceremony in traditional African communities. 6b. Identify 6 ways in which the ancestors were venerated in traditional African communities. Question 6c. Give reasons why payment of dowry is not common in Kenya today. Answers. Question 1a. Reasons why the use of the Bible is central in the study of C.R.E. It's a library of books used by the learners as a reference book. It reveals God to learners. It is a source of knowledge. It is a source of Christian belief and practices. It helps learners to understand their relationship with God. It is a sacred book containing God's revelation to people. It is the true written word of God containing God's message to the people. It reveals how God spoke to the people through prophets. It sets a standard for moral behavior. Question 1b. Effects of sin from the fall of human beings is found in Genesis chapter 3, verse 7 to 23. Both Adam and Eve realized they were naked. They became ashamed. They hid from God. They started blaming each other. The serpent was cast. Enmity between the serpent and human beings developed. The woman was to experience pain in childbearing. The man was made to rule over the woman. The man was to toil in order to eat. The ground was made to produce weeds and thorns. Death was introduced in their lives. They were banished from the Garden of Eden. Question 1c. Factors hindering effective evangelization in Kenya. Inadequate finances, lack of security, lack of transport, family commitment, poor health, political interferences, leadership wrangles, church rivalry, harsh weather, lack of training. Question 2a. Abraham demonstrated his faith in God in the following ways: by abandoning idol worship to serve Yahweh, the true God, by accepting to leave Haran to a new land, by building altars at Bethel and Shechem in honor of God, by accepting circumcision as a sign of the covenant, by sacrificing the animals in the covenant making, by accepting to change their names from Abram to Abraham and Sarai to Sarah, by agreeing to sacrifice his son Isaac, by worshipping God, by believing in the fulfillment of God's promises. Question 2b. Conditions given to the Israelites during the renewal of the Sinai covenant. To obey what? God's commandments. To obey God's commandments. Not to make any treaty with those who lived in the land where they were going. To destroy the altars of the Asherahs. Not to worship any other god. To keep the feast of unleavened bread. To rest on the seventh day. Not to intermarry with the foreigners. Not to make idols. To offer to God the first of their crops. To dedicate all their born male children and of their domestic animals to God. See, what is the importance of the Decalogue to Christians today? It encourages Christians to practice monotheism. It makes Christians aware of the sacredness of sex. Teaches Christians to uphold the sanctity of life. Enables Christians to honor God and observe the Sabbath day. Enables honest dealings with others. Guards Christians against idol of today. Guards Christians against the idols of today. Guides Christians in respecting the other people. It reminds Christians to respect other people's properties. Question 3a. Areas which show King Ahab as a failure in Israel. He married Jezebel, a foreign woman, which was contrary to the covenant laws. He allowed Jezebel to bring a great number of Baal gods. He killed a great number of Yahweh's prophets. He made the Israelites turn away from Yahweh and the covenant way of life. He ruled with influence from the Phoenician culture. He made alliances with foreigners, which made him an ally with kings instead of depending on God. He violated the covenant law by ensuring the murder of Naboth in order to acquire his vineyard. He allowed his wife to bear false witness against Naboth, thus breaking the law on brotherhood. 3b. The nature of the Canaanite religion. It was polytheistic in nature with many gods and goddesses. It was cyclic. It was cultic in nature with rituals. It had false prophets. It had images representing the gods. It had a chief god or a god who was powerful in his own town. It involved temple prostitution. Their gods were visible. They could be touched and felt. They practiced human sacrifice.